every female loves attention. Like every female loves attention. But the problem is that girls are becoming so needy for that attention that they're not appreciating who it's coming from. So like I have multiple girls, like friends, that they get blown up on social media, but they don't appreciate their man's attention. So rather than paying attention to their man and appreciating the time with them,
They grabbing.
they're trying so hard to get everybody else's attention. And I mean, you do you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it kind of makes your man or your significant other feel like, hey, what about me? Like, am I not good enough? Am I not, am I not enough for you? That you need to have all these other people's attention all the time. Like, I can't stand when I go to date. If I go on a date and you have your phone out, you will not get
Lil'
something.
mama only showing love just to take mine. How could you make excuses but can't make time? How I'm supposed to fix your demons that can't face mine? Don't invest in the appearance, need a great mind. Cause she could change the way she look, but she can't change grind. The baddest woman got that hustle that you can't find.
Welcome back to Opinionated, the podcast, Miami edition. I am your host, Joshua Hicks, and alongside me, as always, is my brother from another mother, Reed Washington. And today, Dominique Shim.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Pleasure to have you on the show.
I'm excited to be here.
Dom, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, I live in Miami, and I, for a while, was an Instagram influencer. So what a lot of people think that is like someone that just like posts pictures online and like tries to influence people into buying stuff or like direct them in like the gym or any sort of manner. So my influence was like bikini modeling. So I would show off brands and like tell people about like the style or the material and stuff like that, and then I would promote on my social media platform. I also graduated from FIU with my marketing degree, and I also have my real estate license.
Okay. So just tell us a little bit, like, how did you even get into like social media influencing? Because like I've known you in high school for a while. So
Like
it's
10 years now?
Yeah, about a decade. And it's like,
Oof.
how in the world, like one day it went from like just being a regular follower, a friend, like I know you, because once we started Instagram, it was like just following people that you know.
Yeah.
And then you just blew up like almost like overnight or a couple months.
Honestly, like, it's going to sound funny, but you know how, like, in high school people have, like, their glow-up moments? Mine was not in high school.
Yeah.
Like, by any sense of the word, mine was not in high school. I had, like, a little boy body, like, was super tomboy. Like, I'd wear, like, gym clothes and the bun everywhere. And then when I got to college, everything just kind of, like, clicked. And I was working out all the time. Like, my body, like, the hips came in and normal stuff. And then I went blonde, which apparently caught a lot of people's attention for whatever reason.
They like blondes.
We have more fun. But I was literally at Miami Beach one day, and one of my friends was doing Herbalife, and they were doing a workout there, and his friend was a photographer, and he saw me, and he was like, wow, you're like super beautiful, and you have a great body. Like, would I be able to use you for some of my portfolio shots? I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, why not? It's fun. And so we did that, and then I posted the pictures that he gave me on my social media, and from that, other photographers saw it, and then they wanted to shoot with me, and then when the photographers would post me on their page, then brands would see me, and slowly, like, it starts growing that way. Yeah, so it's funny, like, people always ask me, like, how did you grow it? How did you grow it? But, like, I didn't really try, and I don't mean that, like, in, like, any type of, like, obnoxious way or anything like that. It was just, there are a lot of girls that go out of their way to try and gain followers, but what they don't realize is that you have to be, if you want to be an influencer, you have to be very mindful of who's following you. If you post a lot of like booty pictures and stuff like that, you're going to have a male audience. If you're posting more fashion, you're going to have typically a more female audience. So you just have to be mindful of like when you're growing stuff, like who you want your followers to be. So mine naturally, like as a bikini model, a lot of guys follow me, but also a lot of girls follow me. So it's like up in the air of like my audience. After a while, I started working with Dime Life. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the clothing brand, and that was like
The
football
Hurricanes.
related. Yeah, the Hurricanes, the University of Miami. And like from then, I got like all the sports fans that follow me because I was doing like podcasts with them, and then I would go to what are they like? Not like games, but like they would host tailgates or like events, and then they would bring people and then meet and greets and like host and stuff like that, and just like kind of help them, I guess, mediate.
Yeah.
Because like when you have sports centers, like you have that one chick in the middle of the room that just kind of like directs the conversation. That's basically what my job was. So from there, then more sports people followed me, and my Instagram just kind of like blew up on its own. And of course, just like anything, like when you have fun doing what you do, like you tend to do well at it.
Yeah.
And obviously that's a great way, for telling us how you got into it. But you went to college. Like, you were a college volleyball player to start off everything. Then you transferred to FIU. You didn't go to school for social media. So, like, did that put things kind of like on the back burner for you?
So when I first started doing like the social media stuff, it wasn't a focus of mine because I wasn't in school full time. I was also bartending. But then after a while, I was making a decent amount of money that I didn't need to bartend. So it was never a focus, but at the same time, like, it helped me learn a lot because I'm not gonna like say anything about schooling or anything like that, but a lot of the times, like, you get more experience doing stuff than reading it in a book.
Out in the field, yeah.
So naturally, like, I originally started at Miami-Dade doing nursing, and then I realized that wasn't the path that I wanted to take, so I did business and marketing. And I realized that I wanted to do marketing because I'd been doing social media, because I saw the way these brands would, like, reach out to people and, REOs and stuff like that, and, like, reaching out to people. And I'm like, wow, like, I really enjoy, like, content creation. I enjoy meeting new people. I enjoy traveling. I doing all this stuff falls underneath marketing when you work with a certain company.
Is it harder than what most people think, the whole social media aspect, that life?
So I don't think that it's harder, but it is something that you have to put time into. So it's not like people think that when you are a social media influencer, you just go somewhere, take a picture, and that's it. But there's a lot that goes behind it. You have to learn how to do your own hair. You have to learn how to do your own makeup. You have to know how to work cameras. You have to be good with lighting. You have to make sure that everything in the picture looks appealing. Yeah. Because if you just post a picture to post a picture, people are going to be like, oh, whatever. But you want to be able to showcase the product or the service or whatever the case may be that you're trying to make a profit off of, because these people are paying you to show off their product. So you can't, it's not as easy as everyone makes it seem. It's not difficult, but it's something that you have to put time into. And
like
a lot of people, and a lot of people think that it's just like going into a shop and taking a picture with a dress on and then you post it. But just because that dress looks good on you doesn't mean it's going to look good on everybody else. So it's trying to figure out like a way to let everybody know, like, hey, this is the style, like this is the way it fits and stuff like that. And it gets hard to try and like target an entire audience of females or an entire audience of males, because not everybody has the same taste. Not everybody has the same eye for certain things. So after a while, you have to do your research. You have to put in the time and effort, just like with everything else.
And we talk off air quite a bit, and I like I always say, I know you personally, so it's never came as anything as a fan or whatever. But like, how do people who like just only know you from social media like act like they know you, but they have no idea who you really are? So
it's actually funny. I consider social media a blessing and a curse, because you can be literally whatever you want on social media. Yeah. Like, if you want to be a comedian, you can be a comedian. If you want to be a supermodel, you can be a supermodel. If you want to be like literally anything, you can make your page look that way. The problem is that as good as it can be to let people express themselves in that way, a lot of people get lost in who they actually are versus who they are on social media. And for me, it's also hard because, especially with the younger generation now, they see people on social media and they think that that's just how their life is. And people people tend to forget that people are not posting their failures. People are not posting the negative aspects of their life. People are posting the absolute brightest shining moments in their lives day to day. Like, I'm guilty of it too. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I've posted me looking pretty bad on my stories and stuff. But my page, it has to be spotless. Yeah. When you're an influencer, nothing can be wrong, because you have these brands that come to your page, you have these brands do whatever, and I feel like a lot of people try to match this perfection, quote unquote perfection, on people's pages, and they don't realize that that's not real life.
It's fake.
It's not real life. People edit their pictures. People make it seem like they're living this lavish lifestyle when they rented a car or they borrowed someone's thing. Like, it's not. People forget like the behind the scenes of a picture. Like, you see something on the internet, it doesn't mean that that's what's actually happening. That's what they want you to see. And a lot of people forget that. So I think that social media is great in the fact that you can be whoever you want, but people get so lost in that. They forget who they are as a person and the genuinity of who they are.
Yeah. I mean, you say it's a blessing and a curse. Does it personally wear down on you?
I mean,
or impact your personal life?
Of course. I mean, I've been in multiple relationships where my social media gets in the way. where a guy is like, I don't like the fact that all these dudes are commenting on your pictures. And I'm like, there's nothing I can do to stop somebody else's actions.
Exactly.
You have to be able to trust me and what I do to be faithful to you or whatever the case may be. And it's not just me, but I have multiple friends that have been stuck in the same situation where they'll be in a relationship, guys and girls, and social media has just become this massive insecurity problem.
Yeah, it's personal, though. It's an inside insecurity I think a lot of people deal with, and they take it out on that other person.
Because the thing is like, when I post a picture, maybe a couple people comment and whatever, but they're not things that anybody would ever say in person.
Yeah.
So, you know, like when you're walking by, you might check out a girl, right? But your girl doesn't see that. And we all do it. I check out dudes when I'm with somebody, whatever. But online, there's like your partner can see people saying these things to you.
Mm-hmm.
Your partner has to deal with all of these positive, negative, whatever comments, sexuality comments, like all this stuff. And don't get me wrong, like it takes a toll. I've been in relationships where I'm like, I was not fond of what this chick wrote on your thing, but it's just a comment, no big deal.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't realize that when you're in a relationship, you have to have trust in the other person. And social media has made that impossible. I couldn't even tell you how many relationships have been messed up.
Well, privacy is important, but in the occupation that you have, it's kind of, how do you balance that? That's the biggest kicker.
It sucks because, so I'm not super big on social media, but in Miami, a lot of people know me, and I'm not currently in a relationship, but when I am, the people that I'm with are constantly getting the, hey, you know your girl's here, right? You know your girl's with this person, right? And all this stuff, and I'm like, who are you to be telling my significant other where I am, what I'm doing, whatever? Like, that's my job. You don't need to step into my relationship, but social media involves everybody in everybody's life. Yeah. And the thing is that a lot of people don't want to see you win. A lot of people don't want to see you doing better than them, so they will do anything possible to make you unhappy, to get in your way, to cause problems.
But then they will also give you that smile in your face when they see you.
Exactly.
Because how many people do you like run across, or I don't even know if this has happened to you, like someone that said something negative to you, like in your comments, and like you see them in person, and they're like, "Oh, hey, Dom," like.
Well, actually, I'm very fortunate that I don't normally get a lot of negative comments. I have gotten a couple like here and there, but I've never met that person in person. Yeah. So I've never had to face that. I have had people say inappropriate comments. Yeah. We'll leave it at that. And then I see them in person, and they are not shy in person either. Oh, wow. So
actually, no, they keep the same energy.
Exactly. Exactly. So, I mean, I love the fact that on my social media, I can feel so empowered because I'm getting all these compliments, and every female loves attention. Like every female loves attention. But the problem is that girls are becoming so needy for that attention that they're not appreciating who it's coming from. So like I have multiple girls, like friends, that they get blown up on social media, but they don't appreciate their man's attention. So rather than paying attention to their man and appreciating the time with them,
they grab it.
They're trying so hard to get everybody else's attention. And I mean, you do you. Yeah. But at the same time, it kind of makes your man or your significant other feel like, hey, what about me? Like, am I not good enough? Am I not, am I not enough for you? That you need to have all these other people's attention all the time. Like, I can't stand when I go to dinner. If I go on a date and you have your phone out, you will not get a second date.
Why is that? You need that attention? Like,
it's not that I need that attention. It's just like when I'm with you, like I want your attention.
Quality time.
If you're on your phone, that means you're not giving me the attention that I deserve, and that means that you're doing something. And it's always social media. It's never a text. It's never a phone call. It's never work. Somebody's always on social media because it's happened. I've literally caught a dude on Instagram, and I'm like, hello, like, but. I mean, attention is good because it can make somebody feel good. But like I said, like people get lost in where they're getting the attention from. Because I would like people talk about how when you're with somebody, like, oh, you don't get to spend much time with them, but it's the quality of time
that you're spending with that person.
Exactly. So it's not that I'm not getting a lot of attention. It's that I'm getting the attention from the person I want it from. That's for me. And I feel like social media takes that away for a lot of people. It makes it difficult for them to enjoy one person's full attention, that they need multiple people's attention.
So, like, what advice would you give someone, or a young woman or a young male who is trying to become a social media influencer? Like,
so the best advice that I have is you need to be prepared for the worst. Because, and I don't say that in like a negative manner or anything like that. It's just the reality of it is because there are trolls on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, on TikTok, and there are people that will say the nastiest things to you and they don't think twice about it. And the problem is that a lot of people take that to heart. And you don't know that person, but for whatever reason in your mind, you're thinking, wow, they don't like me. They think I'm this. They think I'm fat. They think I have pimples on my face, whatever the case may be. So going into social media, if you want to be in that limelight, you need to be prepared to hold your ground and know who you are as a person, not how other people see you.
For you don't get knocked off balance.
Yeah, because a lot of people, bullying has always been around. But I mean, like when we were younger, it was like in person.
Different.
Now,
They hide behind.
they
social
hide
media.
behind screens.
I just don't know how. Like, how do you have that much time in your day to sit there and look at me and talk about me? Like, go do something. If you had some business, you probably mind your own right now. But it's like, this is what you rather do.
Exactly. Like you feel so bad about yourself or so insecure with you that you have to go out of your way to bring somebody down with you. Like that is the worst thing ever. And that's what they teach us in schools. Like be kind to others. The golden rule is treat others how you want to be treated. But on social media, that rule goes out the door.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I can say whatever I want and have no repercussions from it.
Create a fake account. Nobody will know it came from me. And
The amount of nasty DMs, not comments, DMs that I get. And I kind of just, when I first started, like it sucked. I was like, I think I was 18 or 19 when all that happened. And I was still going through like the transition of like getting into college, like meeting new people and all this stuff. And I was getting all these negative DMs. And I'm like, I don't, like, what did I do? Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, did I say something and whatever? And I got to the point where I was like, wait, I don't know them. They don't know me. So my biggest advice is to be prepared to be yourself. And if you don't actually know the other person, do not pay any mind to what they're saying. Be happy with you and everything else is fine. Like you do not need to listen to everybody else's attention. I mean, you don't need to listen to everybody else's opinion to know who you are. Other people don't define you.
I think it just when we're doing the whole podcast, like we had people who the mics were the big thing. Like, you know, get a mic. This is why, because the quality and X, Y, Z. So I think that's the biggest thing. I think who the criticism is coming from is important.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing.
And I mean, like, there's always going to be times where someone's going to say something and it's going to sound mean, but it might be true. But
Truth.
that's on you, like, as the individual. That's what I'm saying. You have to be a very strong individual, both mentally, emotionally,
exactly.
all of that, because it takes a toll. When you're upset, it affects everything in your life. It affects your sleep habits, your exercise, everything. So going into being Instagram famous or an influencer or whatever the case may be, you have to be prepared that all eyes are on you. Not everyone's going to like you. People are always going to have something to say. And you just have to go, you know what? I'm happy where I'm at. I'm happy with what I'm doing. I'm happy with myself. And you can give me your opinions. I'm just not going to listen to them. That's my biggest advice.
And how do you, like, get away from social media? Like, how do you, like, deep down, like, I need a break? Like, how do you get your mind off of, like, the crazy world, the other side of you, that you could just be yourself, just be completely normal, a regular woman, and just chill? Like,
so when I'm not on social media, I absolutely love being on the water. Like, anything on the water. It could be raining outside and I'm happy. And so what I do is, like, I always have to have my phone on me. That's my job. But I don't have to be wary of what other people are saying. So I'll leave my phone there. If I have to work, I work.
and you'll shoot a text. You'll be like, "Hey, Josh, I'm about to go."
Yeah, I'm like,
on the
Josh,
water."
give me a minute, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
You need it sometimes.
You know, like,
you
yeah,
need
you
your
just have
alone
to
time.
decompress and you just have to find a balance in your life, because I'm not saying that the negative comments, the negative DMs and stuff like that don't affect me. It affects everybody. I have my days, and Josh, I've talked to Josh about it. I've had my days where I'm completely broken down and I don't understand it, and I'm like, why are people so nasty? Like, I don't get it. I'm kind to everyone, but everybody else feels the need to go out of their way to be so cruel. But then normally, and it's normally Josh's Sunday messages for me, where
Sends them out.
I have to remember that who I am as a person is not what everyone else is.
Yeah.
So you can't expect everyone else to be the person that you are. You can hope for it. You can hope that people are kind. You can hope that
Exactly.
people are genuine. But in the reality, they're not.
And
So
I think, my fault to cut you off, I think that's how you formulate your friends and the people you're around. And you guys known each other for a long time, and it seems to be pretty locked in because you guys actually had that genuine love, that genuine understanding. Like, a decade's a long time to know somebody.
Oh,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
And I mean,
We're old.
we've been through the experience of like you meet people in high school and you're like, you didn't act like that. Why are you trying to be something that you're not now? So with us, it was always just the mutual respect of saying, hey, you've always been the same person I've known since day one, and I can respect that, and I'm going to support you in whatever it is that you do.
That's actually one of the bigger compliments that I get is from both people I know and also people that I don't know as well, is that because my Instagram has been a little blown up since I want to say like 2015. And I have my certain followers reach out to me and they're like, the fact that you have not changed as a person from what we see, obviously on social media, they're like, you haven't become this stuck up person. When people say hi to me on the streets or anything like that, they happen to follow me, I always say hi. I always stay grounded because I feel like people think, oh, just because you have boohoo amount of followers that you're suddenly better than everybody else. And that's not the case.
And you can act some type of way and treat anybody how you want to be,
Everybody deserves to be spoken to. Everybody deserves to feel acknowledged. Everybody deserves to feel respected. And I feel like that's one of the bigger things that I've stuck to, and I like that. Like what Josh just said, like I have not changed from high school to now. Like my personality is exactly the same. I mean, I'm a little bit stronger, and I mean, I might tell somebody to F off, but I was like, but that's about it. Like I'm not, my followers don't define me. I define me. And I feel like a lot of people get lost in that. And that's something that I really enjoy when people give me that compliment. They're like, we love that you haven't changed. And I don't ever want to change. I always want to be me because it's too much work to try and pretend to be somebody else.
It is. It'll kill you.
And another thing I'll mention is that it's actually really funny because you were saying like me and Josh have been friends for a decade and stuff like that. And that's how you find your friends. People come to me all the time, specifically my guy friends, are like, oh, you must have a billion friends. You must know all these people and stuff like that. Like, sure, I know a lot of people, but I do not have a lot of friends. Yeah. To me, a friend is someone that if I'm on the side of the road and I call you, you're going to be there. And there are not a lot of those.
Not
like,
at all.
my friend circle is, like, my best friends is probably, like, a hand. And then, like, my friends is maybe 2 or 3 hands. And I'm just like, people are like, oh, but, you know, you're always around people and you're always whatever. I'm like, just because I'm around people doesn't mean I trust those people. Doesn't mean that I think that they would ever have my back. Doesn't mean I don't think that they're not saying things about me behind my back. I wouldn't trust them with my personal information. I wouldn't trust them if, you know, I needed them for anything like that. And that's just how it is. And people seem to get that confused. Just because you're well known doesn't mean that you have a big group of people that you can count on.
And one thing he's always said, I think when I first met him, he was just like, look, I trust you when you're in my face because I can see you, but it's what you do when you turn that corner is everything.
I saw a meme the other day. I think it had Denzel Washington on it. And it said, don't come to me about what someone else is saying. Tell me why they're comfortable saying it to you. Saying like, why does this person feel comfortable enough to talk smack about this person to you?
Exactly.
Like, what have you said in the past to make them feel comfortable enough to talk smack to you?
Especially
and
if
not
you're
think
cool
that
with
you're
that
gonna,
other person.
and not think that you're going to come back and tell me.
Exactly. I got a quick pop quiz question for you,
Oh,
Dom.
God.
Off the top of your
Not
head,
ready.
how many followers do you have?
108,000.
That beats my 2.
Dom, tell the people how they can get in contact with you.
So I have my social media, so it's DOMINIQUE_SHIM. I also have my email on there. I do not give out my personal phone number because I don't want to get blown up.
We would have blocked it off.
I was like, no. But yeah, I mean, I do not respond to all my DMs. But if you have a general question or something that I can actually help you with, I will 100% like respond to you and stuff like that. If you send me a dirty comment or a dirty DM, I'm not gonna respond.
Don't
Just
expect you
throwing it
to.
out there. I was like, no.
And you might get exposed.
And you might
Yeah,
get blocked.
and you
Depending
might
on
get
the day.
exposed. Yeah, depending on what you say and how I'm feeling that day, I might call you out because if you say like, respectfully. But like if you say like, "Hey, beautiful" or something like that, or you say something sweet, like that's different. But I've had some nasty messages, and I'm just like, no, you need to be put down. Like that's not okay.
Dom, I appreciate you being on here.
I love being here.
appreciate how our friendship just keeps growing.
Likewise.
He's Reed Washington. I go by the name of Joshua Hicks. This is Opinionated, the podcast, Miami edition. Love, always. The old saying goes, Home is where the heart is. I truly believe that. Surrounding yourself around loved ones can make a person feel whole. We don't know what this year will entail, but if you are receiving this message, just know that you will hold a significant place in my heart. There's no motivational passage this week, but the key word is family. Be great this week. As always, God bless. CeeLo.